All these anonymous reports are coming out about Shedeur having bad interviews, especially with the Giants. According to Todd McShay, Shedeur completely bombed his interview with the Giants. He didn't have a great interview with head coach Brian Daboll. The preparation wasn't there for an install package. Daboll called him out, and Sanders didn't like it. Daboll has gone 8-26 over the past two seasons, so he probably knows a thing or two about being unprepared. To be honest with you, I mean, you go 8-26, being unprepared. You will know an unprepared person when you see one. Considering over the last 2 years, that's kind of exactly what you've been. And then there's been reports of him having a big entourage because his brother shoots videos of him being in family. He's with his brother and his family. No drinking, no drugs, no controversy, just living his life. Ocho, I'm going to start with you first.
Yeah.
Hear that he didn't do well in the interview.
Yeah.
He didn't hit it off with Coach Daboll, and seemed like he was unprepared. Didn't like the entourage. Okay, go ahead.
Right. I don't believe it, huh? I don't believe it because every single NFL player, when I say every single, I mean every single, has an entourage. Most of the entourages is family and friends. If it's not family and friends, it's friends that you grew up with.
Right.
Everybody has that. So I'm not sure why that even came into play. And we talk about everybody, regardless of race, regardless of ethnicity, it doesn't matter. So that's one thing. Interview goes bad. Unprepared. Now I'm thinking about a son of one of the greatest players of all time who's always been prepared and coached and having tutelage from one of the best of all time. And for some reason, all of a sudden, he wasn't prepared for an interview when it comes to the game of football in which he's a quarterback. Again, that's something else that's not believable. Now, media can screw things and report things that obviously aren't true. Bingo. Forget that. So he drops to the Cleveland Browns. Round 5, pick 144? What was it, 145?
144.
I'm not even tripping at this point. Because Prime obviously has prepared Shedeur for any and everything, dealing with media, dealing with those that doubt you. So I'm just happy he has this opportunity. Because what's happening in this scenario, in this situation, in which I still believe is collusion, I'm not talking about race. I'm not talking about race at all. I'm just saying a collective collusion against Brother Sanders and all the things and just the hype. And listen, the machine, again, I said it last night. We have choices. People choose what they want to see. I said it yesterday. I'm not talking about race at all. One thing for sure, the machine is undefeated and will always remain undefeated. Anytime it feels not really threatened, but there's another name or family that think they can come in and do things their way, they'll humble you. And this was an example of it, that we've never, ever seen before to this magnitude. We've never seen anything like this.
No.
I'm happy for Shedeur. I'm happy for Shiloh. And for Shedeur Sanders getting the opportunity to play for the Cleveland Browns. His situation is simple as put. It's delayed, but it's not denied. It's not about where you go. It's what you do once you get there. So now you know what you need to do. The Browns haven't had a quarterback. They haven't had a sufficient quarterback, a consistent quarterback for
Bernie Kosar.
Since Bernie for a very long time. This might be their calling. This might be their blessing. This might be his blessing even going there. So I'm happy for him. He's going to do what's necessary. I'm sure he had the chip on his shoulder, and I'm excited because in that AFC North, it runs through Cincinnati, and the only way you're gonna get it done is if you got a quarterback. I just had to add a little piece in there.
I saw that. I saw you throw that in there.
What you think, Twan?
Honestly, man, guys, to be honest with you, I mean, I feel for him. Obviously, you work so hard, and it's tough when you project to go first round. I had a situation once. It's obviously not the same because basketball is totally different as far as the number of people that get picked. But I was with my best friend, Nazir Muhammad, was supposed to be picked lottery when he came out. And Nas slid to 29 and just sitting there. And that obviously it was nothing like Shedeur where you had to actually wait a whole nother day to get drafted.
2 days.
But just to see him slide, huh?
You waited 2 days. He got drafted today.
Yeah,
they had to draft Thursday.
So he had to wait 2 days. So it's different. But I think like this, to be honest with you, I think you have to play the game, Shannon, to be honest with you. I think if he would have, I'm just gonna play the game till I get drafted.
Yeah.
Whatever that would have been, whatever. And I think sometimes that's what not. And I'm not sure of this. And you guys could correct me if I'm wrong, because it seemed like I never seen an agent. And obviously, I'm watching from afar. I'm watching on TV, on social media.
Right.
Do he have an agent?
I don't know. I mean, Shiloh made a joke talking about our dad was our agent, and we might need to hire a new agent.
Okay, right. I don't know, because I think you know how this is. Sometimes you have an agent; he can tell you the truth behind closed doors of what they're actually saying and what you need to work on. So by Deion being the dad, he probably not really hearing everything. They probably can't tell him, so he's not hearing everything that they're saying. So I think that was probably one mistake, and I don't know if he had an agent or not. So if the agent to kind of buffer that, to talk to him and kind of figure it out. But you got to figure this thing out, man. I think one thing about it, it was about interview. I don't think it's skill set. I mean, he put the numbers up. The numbers speak for themselves. He had the numbers. So we got to look at some of the other stuff. I mean, I worked out for 9 teams when I came out. I interviewed with 9 teams. So you got to go through that process. I'm not sure how he interviewed. Maybe that was a little sketchy. That can rub some GMs and execs the wrong way. You know, sometimes if you don't interview well. Maybe the swagger, what he's coming with. Great family dynamics. His family's going to support him. Obviously, he has a certain swag, a certain aura that he carries with him, which we all love, and we just talked about that. We like that. We all 3 of us talk trash. We all celebrated. We all have fun. So we know that. So that's not the problem. We brought our own style, so that wasn't the problem with him. I just felt like they didn't play the game that everybody else played, and they wanted to show them that, look, it's still the NFL. We still run this. You still got to go through this proper pecking order. And I think that's what it was. That's what it looks like. You can't look at if you look at his numbers, his skill level, the guys that got picked before him, all the stuff, it doesn't make sense.
Right.
So it's got to be something behind the scenes. It can't be football ability. It has to be something behind the scenes. That's why I said if he had an agent, maybe somebody that could hear the noise, because he probably didn't hear the real noise.
Correct.
You know what I mean? We on TV watching all the analysts and everybody, but you know, y'all privy to so much information. Y'all only privy to so much. We're not hearing that real noise. You know what I mean? So that's what, and sometimes your agent gets that for you to kind of help you out and maybe help you get your act together. That's why I really wanted to know if he had an agent.
But you know, the funny thing about it, Twan, even at that point, you are who you are. Shedeur is who he is. The Sanders family, they are who they are. That's it. And they've always been unapologetically themselves. And that rubs a lot of people wrong. A lot of people don't like that, including some of those in the NFL. Some of the things that Deion has said in the past, they probably didn't like. They probably didn't like it. You know, he wanted to pull an